Hello there people, my name is Sho and welcome to another episode of Game Things. This week, yet another game that is going to be put down. This time it is Knockout City, a dodgeball multiplayer game that will be ending its journey with its final season, Season 9, which will be released on February 28th, 2023. After the Season 9 update, the game's official live server will be shutting down on 6th of June of the same year after its a little more than 2 years of running time. All money transactions will be removed from the game on the same day as Season 9 drops, and every happening event at a later date will be the developers' launch studio's last effort to try and suck out more cash from the player base by featuring massive sales and huge discounts through the in-game shop. I'm probably exaggerating it, but you get what I mean. It won't matter how many times it might take, EA probably would never stop to try and engineer a live service game that works because that is a straightforward money-making concept. Anyhow, to those who wish to continue playing the game while no progress can be migrated from the current live server, it seems like a private server of the game will be released on PC for free as a standalone downloadable game, while no specific dates have been disclosed, but by the time comes, we will let you know. To me, the gameplay of Knockout City is great, but there's something about match-oriented online multiplayer games whereby they can be fun for a couple of days, however, it gets repetitive and perhaps becoming more like a job than anything else after a while. Especially those games that also require daily logins or tasks. I mean, let's just leave those as a mobile-only thing and hopefully it will never be a trend for games on other platforms. Now here's a crazy thought that I just had, EA, so listen. Imagine making a good game this year and still being able to charge at a full AAA game's price almost 15 years down the line with a remake. Does it sound great? Hell yeah. Because you already have one. Just look at Dead Space. And imagine scaling the actual good games up in numbers? Tell me that is not a good business decision. In the end, all I can say is that EA dropped the ball this time. And you would think that moving into the Flash news would change things up a little. If that is what you really think of it, you will be wrong. There are way too many of them, and that is why we are bringing you the topics here. You might never heard of it if you are not from the Xbox platform, but CrossfireX, first-person shooter that was released for the Xbox One, Series X and Series S on February 2022, is shutting down on May 18, 2023. Developer/publisher Smilegate had also confirmed that there will be no further content updates for the game, and currently, CrossfireX is still on the Game Pass, but has been scheduled to leave the Game Pass on February 16, 2023. On the FAQ page, it is also stated that despite owning the game, CrossfireX developer Remedy's single-player campaign will also be affected, and it will only be playable until the same day of May 18, 2023. If you are among the players who have made in-game purchases in the last 14 days and this news have only made its way to you after that, you may be eligible for a refund, so give that a go. Remember Rumbleverse? The free-to-play 40-player brawler BR focuses on melee combat, developed by Iron Galaxy and published by Epic Games Publishing. It seems like Epic just can't power through everything with their V-Bucks money, as Iron Galaxy Studios announcing that Rumbleverse will be shutting down its server on 28th of February 2023, which is a merely 6 months after its launch in August 2022. Fortunately, they do offer refunds for money spent on the game or in-game purchases, with further details to be shared at a later date. If you think that Rumbleverse is the end of the franchise, well, perhaps not, as the developer did hint on a possible Rumble game in another form or shape, and I quote, "It is our sincerest hope that this news does not mark the end of Rumbleverse. You may not yet have seen the Rumble in its final form. If we can welcome people back onto the deck of Battle Barge again, we hope you will be there, laced up and ready to take on your rightful place in the canon." And I end quote. And you would think that bad news ends here, if only. I didn't mean to take this as an EA special, but here we go. I've never tried Titanfall, but I know there are those who are waiting for the sequel of the game to the original. Out of all the developments that could have been cancelled, of course it is an unannounced single-player game, Titanfall Legends, that gets the shorter end of the rope according to the report from Bloomberg. And not just Titanfall, Apex Legends Mobile will be delisted from the storefronts on 1st of May 2023, which will mark it just half a month shy from a full year since its release. Not only that, the in-game purchase with real-world currency is no longer supported since this Tuesday/Wednesday, depending on which region you are from. And unlike Epic, all the in-game purchase will not be refunded, and when the game shuts down, all your in-game purchases will be just gone. However, CEO Andrew Wilson did mention that while this version of the Apex Legends Mobile fell short of their expectation, there are plans to have a connected Apex mobile experience in the future, whatever that means. I wish I could end the EA topic here, but man, even Battlefield Mobile that is in development had to be halted. According to its post on EA website, the way they word it makes it sound like they are done releasing a generic game with their popular IP slap on it, and instead, they are trying to have things that are able to meet the expectations of their player base. However bad this might sound for the company's direction towards the mobile industry, EA did reassure that the company is still taking the mobile market seriously. Moving on, and I promise you, this is the last piece. Back 4 Blood is adding its major updates for the game in the coming future as the development team moves on to their next project. Consider it was out since October 2021. Even if you bought the annual pass, I guess 3 expansion pass since its release is still kind of worth it. Anyhow, the game will no longer have content updates, so if you have not played it and is still planning to grab it, do wait for sales and make sure you have friends to play with, especially at a higher difficulty where every bit of efficiency and teamwork counts. As for the new game, it is still too early for the developer Turtle Rock Studios to have anything to share at the moment, but we will be reporting it when the time comes. Now let's switch it up a little. The day before is an upcoming open-world MMO survival game set in a post-pandemic America where you face the infected zombies and try to survive by all means. Now I know it sounds typical, but it did surpass what I was expecting. Well, to be fair, maybe I was just not expecting much to even begin with. Anyhow, the game was supposed to be out in March 2023, but the date has been pushed back to November 2023 instead. And hence, it will be some time before we can get our hands on it. In the meantime, you can check out this 10 minutes gameplay video, which really is more like running around to show you the world itself. Speaking of gameplay, this is an interesting one for sure. An exclusive Resident Evil 4 Chapter 5 12 minutes of gameplay walkthrough published by Game Informer on their YouTube channel, which we will be linking down below. This will be my 3rd Resident Evil game, followed by RE2 and RE3 Remake, which to me is an experience that I enjoyed. I'm not going into the details and the changes here compared to the original RE4, but if you understand, that's your takeaway. If you don't, that's okay too. It will be quick. In this gameplay, Ashley will no longer have a health bar. Quick time events from the original RE4 have also been removed. Side quests are also being added to the game, and knives will have limited durability. All in all, I'm not expecting this remake to be a perfect for all, but I would still embrace the experience that Capcom is bringing with this remake. Again, you can catch the gameplay provided by Capcom to Game Informer with the link down below, and RE4 Remake is releasing this year on March 24th. Next, we're going to talk about PlayStation. For better or worse, probably the latter. PlayStation Plus Collection, which is a service provided to those who subscribe to PlayStation Plus, will be removed from being part of the subscription sometime in May 2023. PlayStation 5 users will have the time until May 2023 hits to download the included games for free before they become paid games again. That being said, if you have not tried any of the games listed and would like to play them, perhaps it is a good time to get yourself a PS5 since stocks are slowly but surely coming back for the console. The PlayStation Plus collection consists of many awesome first-party titles like God of War, Bloodborne, Infamous Second Son, Ratchet & Clank, Until Dawn, as well as other hit PlayStation games from previous years. All in all, if you already have a PS5 and has a PlayStation Plus subscription going, even if it means downloading into your external drive, I think it is worth your time to get things set before it goes away. And to those who have been waiting for the sequel to the original game The Forest, which is an open world crafting survival game released back in 2018 and had sold more than 5 million copies in total, the much anticipated sequel, Sons of the Forest, and the developer at End Night Games had stated that they will not further delay the release of the game. They will be releasing Sons of the Forest as an early access game as early as February 23rd or 24th this month, depending on your region. Finally, It is also reassuring that the upcoming title from Koei Tecmo, Wall Hearts, the co-op action adventure game that has its gameplay focused on hunting down giant bees using the Karakuri techniques. Koei Tecmo Games, the developer of the game, had confirmed that the post-launch contents will be free and that they have no plans to offer microtransactions. Definitely reminds me of the Monster Hunter franchise from Capcom in too many ways, but still, I would love to try out the game and see if Koei Tecmo's take on the genre is a better one when it comes out this month on February 16. And before we move on, just a quick mention on The Last of Us Part 1 PC port. Instead of releasing on the 3rd of March, still the same month, but this time on the 28th. Also, Amnesia the Bunker, a survival horror first-person game with the place this time set in a desolated World War I bunker, will unfortunately have to push back its initially scheduled release date in March 2023 to 16th of May 2023. Now let's talk about the game releases of this week. Nadir, a Grim Deck Builder, is in its name, a deck builder with roguelike elements. Comparatively, card games like Slay the Spire has a much straightforward gameplay, and in this game, combat is much more intuitive if you play it firsthand. If I were to put it in words, the combat is more reactionary from your opponent's side, and their reaction depends on how you execute your cards. Each cards have their gauge, and once the gauge is filled, the same mechanics will then be executed, either be gaining shield or dealing damage from your opponent to you, the player. If you feel like giving it a try, there is also a free prologue demo that you can try on Steam. Nadir, a Grim Deck Builder, is now officially launched, leaving its early access phase, and the game is now available on PC and Nintendo Switch. Of course, even though I am personally not that invested in the Harry Potter world, how can I forget about this? One of the most highly anticipated game of this year, Hogwarts Legacy, is made available on February 10, 2023 on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, as well as PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of the game coming at a later date. This is an open world action RPG experience where you are the center of your own adventure, playing magic in this wizarding fantasy world. As you encounter magical beasts, you will also learn to craft potions, mastering spell casting, upgrading talents, and really just become a wizard that you once dreamed. And as usual, this week's free offerings on the Epic Games Store is Recipe for Disaster, which didn't really feel that long since I last mentioned it, but man, it was released back in August 2022, and time sure flies. Anyhow, if you like cooking, simulation and management genre, this game is free, so why not try it out? Be sure to claim your copy of Recipe of Disaster, available starting February 10th, and the offer ends on 17th of February 2023. And that marks the end of this week's episode of Game Things. Giving us a like here on YouTube shows us your appreciation, and if you like our videos, considering subscribing so that you won't miss our weekly game news update here at Game Things. And to those who are still here, if you ever wonder how Subway Surfers will look like running on Unreal Engine 5, check out this video, which we will provide a link down below.